Ready.
Hi, I'm MJ Ward.
I'm Ben Stoliga.
I'm John Christus. I'm Brendan Renard.
And I'm Sia Patel, and we are OdorHive.
Before we begin, I would like to share with you guys a little something about my own life. For as long as I can remember, I've been playing sports. But as some of you may know, with sports comes stink. One instance in which this dilemma was more evident than ever was after a travel baseball game when I was 12. On the car ride home, my dad made me aware of the fact that my feet smelled like, quote, the bathroom of a college bar. We took my cleats and wrapped them in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plastic bags and stuffed them in the fridge. And finally, that god-awful stench was gone. Sadly, this is not an isolated incident. Just take a stroll down the athletic hallway, past the boys' locker room, and take a whiff. Although I will warn you, do this at your own risk. Due to our own experience as student athletes, and that of 95.7% other interviewed student athletes, people whose sports require their body to excrete sweat are too often subjugated to the foul odors produced by their sweaty gear and shoes after intense workouts. We wanted to truly validate our problem before we continued with the solution. We conducted more preliminary research and found that 70% of athletes struggle with tinea pedis, commonly known as athlete's foot. One common symptom of athlete's foot is, you guessed it, unpleasant odors. We decided to leave the more medical issues up to the more qualified doctors. So instead of attempting to stop sweaty odors at the source, we believed a more feasible option to pursue with this class, as well as our available resources, would be to mitigate their effects. The most effective way to mitigate our effects due to various surveys and interviews was through odor neutralization and odor confinement in the form of a bag. And with that, allow me to introduce OdorHive. OdorHive comes lined with carbon fabric that not only keeps sweaty odors in, but also slightly neutralizes them. OdorHive fits up to size 15 shoes and comes with a handy pouch that allows for other sweaty garments to be placed. As of now, we are in the process of developing addable fragrance cartridges, but have not yet implemented them into our solution. We believe we belong to the athletic sanitation market as well as the sports bag market, with competition including brands such as Funkaway and Skunk Bags. Although these products solve similar solutions, we believe we are special due to our ability to both confine odors as well as neutralize odors, of which these brands can't do both.
The customer we present to you is Jack. Jack is a 17-year-old senior attending Fremd High School. He's a two-sport athlete and playing basketball and football. Although Jack is a busybody, he still takes his time out of his day to go on social media such as Instagram and Facebook. He comes from a two-parent household of an income of $125,000. He is one of the many athletes that is often subjugated to the foul odors that come from your sweaty gear after practice or workout. Our total addressable market is relatively simple. It comes from the $1 billion that is spent on sports bags each year. Our serviceable addressable market is dividing that number into local athletes in DuPage, Cook, Lake, and Kane County with an income of $100,000 or more. Making our market share 0.01% from the 192,000 student athletes in the state of Illinois, we have realized that we can use our marketing tactics to target those who are in DuPage, Kane, Cook, and Lake County, as I said before, making our first year of units sold 1,190 bags, making our first year revenue $37,000, and our first year gross profit margin $23,700. And after implementing our fragrance cartridges, our revenue will rise after a second year, making our fifth year revenue $789,000 and our fifth year gross profit margin around $500,000. Now, we have talked to multiple manufacturers about an estimate or an idea of how much our bags would cost. It would cost around $6,500 for 500 units per bag, which would be $13 to implement each bag, which we made our unit price $35, making our gross profit margin 63.5%. Although our gross profit margin is quite low currently, we know that after implementing and selling more products and buying our bags in bulk, our gross profit margin will go upwards to 80%. After some paid marketing strategies, we will make our net profit $9,400 and our year 5 net profit $168,000.
With our initial testing phase, our intentions were first set on the landing page. The landing page our intentions were to not only gather information, but to also show potential consumers who we are and what we do. Some of the means for gathering information using this page was our pre-order page, as well as a mailing list. With the pre-order page, we showed potential users a variety of bags varying in size, price, and features. This information would then be sent back to us so we could determine what price and some of the features consumers were looking for from our bags. In addition, the mailing list was used where users of the site, quote unquote, join the hive. This would send them constant updates on where we were progressing and give us the ability to send them surveys to further gather information.
All right, now let's talk a little about testing. Before we start, as we mentioned to you guys before our first MVP presentation, we were talking about maybe doing a Kevlar bag which you could wash. We have since transferred to a bag that's just odor confining and ultra neutralizing. So started with stage 1, which is our first prototype. It was a big fail. The reason for it was too tiny and it just did not hold in odors, which is definitely a big issue. So we went to stage 2, which was our most successful prototype. We had 6 focus groups for this with 6 different people. And with this bag, it consisted of the white stuff, which is air conditioner filter, which just was an extra filter. The black is carbon, which was the bread and butter of it. It's the odor confining. And then the green stuff on the bottom of the bag is actually charcoal, which neutralizes the smell. And this bag was just, it really helped us to learn a lot. And the only issue with the bag was the zipper. It wasn't working well to confine the smell. So after our first testing, we did put on a better zipper. And this is how we came up with our survey, which asked just their age, grade, and then what we could do better. Everyone said what we could do better is make the bag bigger, and else we can make it a little more odor confining. So we came up with this beautiful drawing. MJ made us a nice CAD drawing, which we sent to a manufacturer. This is where we got this bag. It's a professionally manufactured bag. With the sizing, we found the sizing by using a size 15 shoe and adding 3 inches just to make it large, and it has a pocket on it so you can put socks, sweaters, anything in there just that you want to hide the smell. That's where we came up with this bag. So this bag is manufactured in Wisconsin by, Sia talked to about 5 different manufacturers, and this manufacturer came up with the best pricing. And we are actually, with this bag, we get the funding, we are ready to actually manufacture it at $13 a unit. The price is the same as when we manufacture it ourselves because it's a little bigger, so there's more material in it. But this bag was tested by SIA. We just got it, so we have not gotten to fully test it, but it did work very well. And with the response of people seeing it, they've loved it with the size, and just the pocket has worked great for it.
From the information we gathered, fragrance cartridges were also highly demanded. 100% of people said that they wanted to see fragrance cartridges sold in addition to the bags. These cartridges would be around 55 cents to manufacture and would last around 3 to 4 months of fragrance.
On to marketing. One strategy that we used was Instagram. Instagram is a free platform for us to use, which we made a total of 4 posts with 39 followers. On the Instagram page, we have also added the link to our website, which generates passive traffic to our website. We've accumulated a total of 25 traffic visits. We've also used our platform to send out 13 surveys, which generated 300 responses.
And so now we are asking for $8,197 in our startup costs. This consists of legal costs for an LLC, provisional patent, and copyright and trademark. Although our legal costs are quite low at this moment, we are planning on implementing a utility patent towards the end of our first year after generating some revenue. And our marketing costs will go to paid weekly Instagram ads, which is 1,000 clicks per week, Facebook ads, and also permits to go to local sporting events and places such as Canlan or the Park District. And we have a startup inventory of $6,500 because that is the number we have gotten from multiple manufacturers for 500 units. So in total, we are asking for $9,000. We have a startup cost of $8,197 and a liquidity cushion of $803. The liquidity cushion would go towards testing out those fragrance cartridges and also go towards more advertising and possibly more manufacturing goods. Investing in us would be very, very good for you all. We have a total post-money valuation of $107,000 and a money multiple of 6. We are offering 8.6% ownership of our company. And after 5 years, we are planning on selling to Dick's Sporting Goods or Dick Pond, some athletic store as that, because they would love to invest in OdorHive because we are an amazing brand, we're an amazing company, and so this would really help those companies receive revenue as well. Make sweaty odors buzz off with OdorHive. Thank you.
Thank you.
So that's your prototype. It's great. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
You can make those right away, right?
Yeah.
$13, and you have the manufacturer lined up, ready to go.
So,
I
yeah,
have 2.
so
Okay.
with the prototype and that guy, he made it in 3 days, so he definitely could get us
Okay.
going.
And
And he
you
was
can-
very easy to work with.
And if we made an investment, you can have 500 of those. How soon?
Probably in around a month.
Okay. And how do we know it works? Like
So,
you stick your nose in it before and after.
There
It's,
you go. That's it.
That's simple.
we had focus groups, 7 athletes testing out our bags, which was with our stage 2 bag. And the stage 2 bag basically has the same elements as our prototype, but the thing about the stage 2 bag was that it was just very rough. And after a bunch of the respondents came back, they all said that it did neutralize the odors. The only problem was that they wanted it to have some sort of smell, good smell. That's why we wanted to implement the fragrance cartridges. So it just smelled like nothing, basically.
And with that, we did, I tested it with rotten pork, so it smelled horrible, so we did test it, see it after, and it did, you couldn't smell the pork after. Even though
You
it's
know,
juicy.
rotting piece of meat.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
oh, that's good.
So it definitely
That
works
sounds
with
like a
strong
commercial.
smell.
This is a small point, but when your shoes are in a locker, that's when they, really it's contained. So does the bag fit in is there a standard size locker, and does the bag fit perfectly, or is it if it's just an inch too big and it goes like that, it's,
It
so
should,
did you size it for the locker? The
So
traditional locker?
In the athletic lockers, in the locker room, they're slightly bigger than normal lockers, which I assume where this bag would be placed mostly, and it would fit completely. There would be excess space.
Yeah, I would just double check that
Sure.
before you make
Yeah.
500 of them to make sure that it fits flat into the locker.
Yeah.
it will definitely flat though, you pumped it and put it in.
Is the carbon, inserts, is that gonna be sewed into the bag itself?
It's already
It
sewed
is.
into the
Oh,
bag
it's already,
itself.
so you're
Behind
just.
the mesh.
Yeah.
just
So
the
all of
bag.
this,
Okay.
all of this
Yep.
It's inside.
is this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
That's just to give you an idea of the actual layers inside of the bag.
Yeah.
Okay. Does that ever have to be replaced, or the efficacy is?
So with my research, it's like a air conditioner filter use, so it will last about 3 to 4 years because it's not getting dust into it. So the bag should last for as long as you'll have it.
That time.
3 to 4 years of raw pork.
Can't guarantee that.
Sushi. Did you guys ever connect with the Deo Block or Deo Block business that we talked about? They're out of Palatine High School's incubator program,
Oh,
and,
Alex did tell us about them, yeah.
and,
We're aware of them. We did not connect with them.
because that's a potential partnership for the
Right.
insert that you're looking for, because they've got a couple contracts with universities as well as high schools such as Friend
Oh.
and Palatine.
Yeah, they solved it by throwing an insert into the shoe.
There you go, it's another way, yeah.
The kid actually emailed me a week ago,
Anthony probably, yeah.
Tamras.
Tamara's, and it's a holder that has got refillable inserts, that's their recurring revenue
Well, that's
portion.
genius.
And I'm sure they're in college now. They were.
They are.
They're
They're past college.
graduated.
Yeah.
They're done, and they're marketing, and they're pushing and selling, so it just.
But I'd be careful too, because they are a competitor,
Mhm.
so
and he's in it to win it.
You might wanna, you might wanna follow what they're doing
Okay.
as opposed to, going in and all sherry.
Hide our trade secrets, lawyer up.
Lawyer off is right.
I remember your guys' initial presentation, and it was very ambitious, so I congratulate you on pairing it back into something that's really viable. At least the question, I have two comments. One, is this, will this hold up, like, the bag at some point is gonna probably need to be washed. So is this gonna be, hold up with, wear and tear of washing every once in a while, so it's gonna retain its efficacy?
Yeah, so how we did test it after every use with the bag, because some people got muddy, like Peyton was one of our testers, it got muddy after. So I actually did wash it, and it still held up great after. There was no difference in smell or anything like that.
And I think one thing from my perspective that, you may have thought this already, but, if I pick up the kids on a Sunday and it's wet out and everything goes in the trunk, and then we go through our days and all of a sudden I open up the trunk, 5 days later and boom. So, not only school lockers or high schools, but also parents with kids, that are active.
That's why we definitely want to put the charcoal in there, because we definitely want to just try to neutralize the smell too. With the carbon, you would just hold it in, when you open it, you'd probably pass out because it smells so bad. So with the charcoal, it will neutralize it a little bit.
Can you go back to your SG&A, or your COGS?
You don't have to just,
Anyway,
The back
I
button,
think it was
hold it
$10
down.
or something.
Cost of goods was.
Cost of goods sold was $10 or 13, right?
Yes.
Yeah, $13. Does that include any type of shipping or packaging? Like, are you gonna put this in a box or a bag? Are you gonna have a label it?
It does not. It only includes shipping to us, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It would include all the manufacturing costs it would also include shipping, but not shipping it out to customers, if that makes sense.
Okay, well, you should think through that.
Mhm.
It's not like you're going to scale this business by collecting $13 from people and giving them a bag right on the spot. You're gonna have to get it to them, you're gonna have to market it, hopefully you're selling on Amazon. There's an Amazon affiliate charge, Amazon will take theirs, great, you'll have a shipping cost, so you might wanna just think through that in your financials. And then the $35 price, how does that compare to competitors or other bags?
With skunk, so one of our competitors was skunk bags, and their bags are priced at about $120 for a little bigger than that. So it's definitely, we have to look at more research, but with our surveys on the website, that's what people are willing to pay for that kind of bag.
Well,
And
how did you do the survey?
we post it through our Instagrams, Google Forms, the website.
And did you post $35?
So,
Or did you say, what do you wanna pay?
so basically what we said, we gave them options and we also said other. And what we did, they sort of broke down the price that they wanted it to, they wanted to buy it for. And what we did, we averaged around 100 of those price points and we came up with an average of $35.
Okay, so you had 100 people say what they'd be willing to
We
pay.
had 100
What was the
respondents.
low and the high?
The lowest was probably $25 and the highest was $50.
Should you do average or
no-
median?
I did average.
And this is with, I post on my Instagram, which it's probably, I have 5 followers, so there's probably people around the country. So it is definitely different demographics, geographics.
1 minute.
All right, so what are your plans?
So I can speak for myself and MJ and Ben that we're saying we're in it to win it and we really want to pursue this product for the future. As for Brendan and John,
What do you guys say?
We found the class very fulfilling, especially having actual product. It was really cool, but me and Brendan will not pursue a future in this place.
The experience was great, but our experience.
All right, great job, thank you.